Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so I'm about to make this Target walk again for the second time, although I didn't go with you guys in the first one because my phone was dead. But I got it charged up to 75 with my tablet charger. Somehow the port actually worked for that charger, but none of the other two, I don't know. So what I think may be the case is I might have been able to fix the port, but not necessarily the cord with the super fast charger. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this back, the one that I bought today, super slow charger that's wireless, and I'm gonna try to exchange it for another cord. And I bought the placement jack, I don't know what you call that thing, but the base with me. And what I'm gonna ask them to do is let me try it out there. If it works, then I'll buy it. If not, then I won't. And that's kind of how I go about that. Hopefully they allow me to do all that. That's a lot of asking, but it doesn't make any sense for me to buy the cord when the port is actually messed up and for whatever reason only will charge with that particular charger. Whatever the case may be, I brought everything with me. But yeah, that's what's going on here, man. Hope everybody's having a good day. Lord worked everything out. I made a video telling y'all about how it went, but I don't even think I uploaded it yet. I might have forgot to do that. But you know, it's one of those situations where the Lord wanted me to not panic this morning, and a lot of things were in place to make it so that things could not work out. If my phone would have died before I had a chance to call that Uber, that could have been a real problem. You know, I was quick on my feet in making sure that that didn't happen. Showering quickly. I didn't eat before I left the hotel to keep that in place, you know, to make sure that I had enough juice, because it was like, if I sit here past 8 o'clock, not only could I lose out on the room, but my phone could actually die, because it was only on. When I left that hotel, I think that thing had like 12% or something ridiculous like that. So yeah, it was a bad morning for my nerves, but I think I handled it very well. And fortunately enough, the hotel here didn't cost so much, neither did the other one. I was able to get NoHo for under $100 and able to get this one for under 210. So it's like I had some excess money to buy these things that I needed, even though I'm still gonna need money next week that's gonna run me up past what it is my budget will be. So that's an optical illusion, thinking you have extra money. You don't. But the point is, I'm telling myself that this week, all things considered, I should at least be able to take care of this necessity in replacing this cord and getting whatever charger would actually be compatible to this thing now that it's having its troubles. So if this cord is indeed dead in the water, which I believe it may be, given the fact that it won't charge my headphones either, then I probably need to replace the cord, and I don't expect it to be more than $15, because that's how much it costs at T-Mobile store. So hopefully Target doesn't have it for much more than that. Hopefully they even sell this cord. Even if they don't, at least the important thing is for me to get my money back for this. I'm not trying to spend no more money or excess money on anything that is absolutely not going to be useful or needed. So yeah, man, happy that my phone is charged up. Happy I was able to get through this quiet morning because of it. It was quiet, man. It was real quiet. Not being able to talk to you guys, not being able to look at any content, not being able to do anything really. But that's just how it goes, man. I appreciate my boy T for being willing to come down to bring me the other phone, as I was telling y'all about. But it just seemed to me that it was much more safe of an overall plan to stay on this side of town and get myself a charger and get this thing up to at least where we are right now. So that way I would at least have some access to a phone to do all the various different things necessary, rather than going all the way downtown on 2% and then maybe not rendezvousing with him, or maybe not being able to get on the train because of the tap situation, or having to, you know, all kinds of different things that could have went left from my phone not being available to me in that situation. So I was like, nah, if the other phone that he had, that I asked, you know, that I was asking him to bring to me, that was delivered to him a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, before Thanksgiving, if I would have gotten that phone that wasn't compatible, I'd still been left with 2 dead phones. That's basically how that would have went. I could try to put my SIM card from this one in that phone, but I don't know what type of phone that even is. So it's one of those situations where it's like, I that's a little more risky than necessary. So it made a whole lot more sense to just try to find a charger, a wireless charger, even though it turned out I didn't actually need it. Made a hell of a lot more sense to get that than to do anything else that would have taken me out of North Hollywood with a phone that wasn't really working. So yeah, man, it all worked out though. At least it appears it has. I get all the way down here, find out they don't have my charger, and then get back and find out the port is broken and it was only working temporarily for whatever reason. Although I did try to take it out and put it back in, take it out, put it back in a couple times to make sure. That could be a problem, but and then find out I need this thing after all. That would suck. But whatever the case may be, 2 hours and 30 minutes is a long time to be waiting for a phone to charge. So if I absolutely don't need this thing, I definitely don't want it. I definitely don't want it. So that's really what it comes down to, man. I know I'm wasting some of my battery here with this, but I got it up to 75. So by the time I get back, I'm guessing the way that I like to talk on this thing, it'll be at 49 when I get back to the hotel, which is a real killer of the battery, as you guys know. But that's what it takes to do content with this camera, with this old phone. So yeah, man, my feet don't feel all that great. This is the first day I didn't do my squats in the morning for obvious reasons. Didn't have the time, but you know, I think my legs could use a break anyway, because I was lifting much heavier yesterday because my suitcase was already packed. So I did 60 sets of significantly more weight. Not 60 sets, but 60 reps, 5 sets. So, you know, I didn't get all the way up to my 89 reps, but I took about 20 of them off. A little more than maybe, yeah, something like that. 30 of them off. And lifted heavier. And then later on that day I did one set with the 16 extra pounds on top of that, one set of 10. So I'm a little sore off of that, guts a little sore off of that, but I've been keeping up with the push-ups just the same. So, you know, it's just, I'm always thinking about my fitness, I'm always thinking about exercise, and given the fact that I ain't been able to do my hundreds because of this elbow injury, I've been feeling very self-conscious about not getting enough exercise. But the strength in my legs is there. When I climb steps, I can definitely feel it. I'm getting there. So I don't know that I'm actually taking these steps back. I ain't had no cheat meal since I stopped my 100. So as far as I can tell, it's all in my head as far as me having any setbacks. But, you know, all in all, I'm just thankful that the Lord has made it so that I didn't need this charger after all, that I could have my phone now and talk to you guys the way that I like to. Walking down the street in silence just feels abnormal to me these days. That's how much I do this. But, you know, all in all, it's good. It's all good. I spoke to my homegirl, Kay. She sent some good energy my way when I told her what was going on. I'm sure she said some prayers, that kind of thing. So it all worked out. You know, I let my uncle know what was going on, but I'm sure he's at work. So and he probably figured I figured it out, and I did. And so it's all gravy. But as far as everything else, I'm good to go, man. Had a good night at the NoHo Hotel, all things considered, even though I didn't sleep very well because of this. But other than that, I mean, I got some sleep. It wasn't like I was up all night. I did definitely get some sleep. So I'll tell you something that was interesting. The night before last, the last dream I had in the old room with the cold shower, I forgot to say this yesterday when I was walking around, was the dream was long and centered around one person, and that doesn't happen very often. Usually if I have a dream and I remember what the dream was, it's fragmented into different parts. There will be highlights, but it won't be no carryover to where this person is still in the dream, unless it's my mother. You know what I mean? This person is still in that part of the dream, and then you carry over to another part of the dream 4 hours later, and that person's still in the dream and it's still about them. That dream was centered around Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne. I put him on the prayer list when I woke up out of that dream. But it wasn't nothing negative. It was one of those situations where, now I don't know how many kids he has in real life. I don't know. I have no idea. But in my dream, he had a bunch of kids. When I say a bunch, at least 25 kids. Like, he had a lot of kids. And what he was trying to balance was staying in all of their lives. All of their, like, that's what it was. So I was giving him advice on, you have so many, every day you take an hour out of your day and you either contact, because you obviously, you can FaceTime one every day. And when you have more time, try to FaceTime two of them, but like make sure that one of your kids, a different kid, is contacted every day, and keep it in a nice rotation. That's the best you can do. That's what I was telling him. For your schedule and how you move, it's impossible for you to be in everybody's life. But it was one of those situations where his kids was all doing something different, like probably in real life. But like one of his kids was like completely Caucasian and was in the NBA, kind of looked like him a little bit in the face, but not really. It was very strange stuff. He was in the NBA though. Like his son was completely balling out, Carter on the back of the jersey and everything. And then another son dressed funny. But here's the thing. He dressed like the Hamburglar. When I saw him, I mean, obviously people dress however they want to dress, but like in my dream, he had like on a Hamburglar outfit. But when I saw the kid, I met him, I was like, yo, that's a star. That's your star son. He's gonna be as big as you. Like it was something about that particular son that made me think, oh, he got it, the it factor, fam. He's gonna be as talented as he's gonna be as famous as you. And I was trying to tell him something about that son, and he was talking about another kid in a different part of the dream. He was like, all right, now we're gonna try to meet up with this particular one. And I met that kid, and he had it was like a lot of different stuff having to do with his children. I'm like, why am I having dreams about Lil Wayne's kids? Like, and they're not his real kids. It was the kids that were made up in my mind that were his kids. It wasn't Regine. It wasn't the son that you see at the Laker games. No, it was like some other people. I think he had a half Mexican son too, somewhere in LA, over here on this side of town or something. It was like, what the heck? So, but the moral of the story was he was trying to be a better father. He was trying to work it out to where even though he had a lot of kids, he was trying to be in all their lives. Like he genuinely was interested in all their lives, like, like a dad's supposed to be, just with too many seeds, And he was essentially telling me, like, get on the road, meet girls on the road. At this level, it's easy. It's really easy to get in this kind of situation a lot of the time. It's easy. And I'm not putting that on him in real life. I don't know how many, I don't know if he finds himself in that situation in real life or not. But essentially what he was saying was, I know how many kids I have, but they don't know each other, and I want to get them together. And at the end of the dream, we were able to get all his kids together to take a picture with him. I think I took the picture, or maybe somebody else took the picture. I don't remember how it went, but that's what it was. It was like a happy ending to where we were able to get him and all his kids together. So I was like, wow, man, what kind of dream is that? You know what I'm saying? Where'd that come from? And I'm telling you, that dream lasted all night, and the whole night it was centered around him in different settings with different children. Very, very, very different type of stuff for me in terms of dreams. I ain't never had no dream like that at all. Never. And it felt very real, man. Very real. Like the colors that popped off his son who dressed funny's clothing looked real to me. The colors popped off. All the purple and all that, it just popped off. I'm like, yo, this dream don't feel like no dream. It feels like I'm there. Like it feels like my spirit went to where he's at. Like that's what it felt like to me. And so I just wanted to come here and let y'all know that I put Lil Wayne on the list. Anything like that happen eventually, and I wake up out of a dream and it's that vivid, yeah, you going on the list, buddy. I'm praying for you. You're going to be on that prayer list along with everybody else. And I also added someone else to the list that same night, a family. My friends that I haven't seen in over 20 years that lived in the valley somewhere, the Sepulvedas. Shout out to the Sepulvedas, man. So I ain't forgot about y'all. My boy Steven, rest in peace. As I mentioned Steven a couple times, we lost him to lupus back when he was like 25 years old. I don't think I was no older than 3 years older than him. But I know them through my brother Keontae, who I used to I've known him since I was 6 years old. So like me and him are basically brothers. And I would be everywhere he was at one point in time in my life during my like later teens and early 20s. I was everywhere he was at. So anytime he would go to their house, not anytime, but a lot of times when I'd be hanging out with him, we'd go over there. And that ended up being like a second home to me too. I ended up getting kind of close to them too, hanging out at their house, and went to Halloween haunt with them a couple times, like a couple years in a row we would go out and stuff like that. So I became pretty close to them and their family. I knew the sisters, I knew the mom and dad, I knew grandma, I knew cousins that lived across the street, like the whole nine. So like that was another family of mine, and they came to mind before I went to sleep that night with the Lil Wayne dream. They were on my mind. I don't know how it got to that point, but got a lot of love for them, Benny and Maritza and all of them, man. So it was like, all right, let me put them on the list. When I woke up out of that dream, I'm like, all right, we got somebody else to put on the list too. Lil Wayne, you on that list too. Like, it was crazy, man. But yeah, man, shout out to the Sepulveda, shout out to Weezy. And that's what it is, man. I'm where I need to be. I'm gonna go ahead and get in here and do what I gotta do, and exchange this thing that I don't need anymore, and that's pretty much it. BDF 44, thank y'all for watching. I'm out.